Good morning, friends. Thank you and welcome to Live from the Library. My name is Librarian Megan and I am part of the STEAM team. So, friends, am I at the library right now? No, I'm at my house, just like you. And so, with the STEAM team, we travel all over the city. We go to preschools, we go to daycares and WIC centers, and we can even come to you from our house. So, what is the STEAM team? Well, I'm going to tell you, but I'm going to need some help with my letters. Okay, so I have some letters here. So I want to see if you know these letters, all right? What letter is this? That's right, S. So the S in STEAM team stands for science. Can we all say science? Science. Excellent. Let's see. What's my next letter? Ooh, T. Now, T stands for a big, long word. It stands for technology. So can we all say that together? Technology. So we're using technology right now. We're using our computers to talk to each other. Isn't that neat? All right. Let's see. Our next letter is E. Yes. So E stands for another big long word. It stands for engineering. Can we all say that together? Engineering. So engineers are the people who make and fix our technology. Ooh, this is an easy letter. I know you know this. Let's see. A. Yes, A stands for art. So let's see. Who out there likes painting? Who likes crayons? How about colored pencils? Well, guess what? We're going to be doing a little bit of art-related work later today. All right, let's see. And our last letter is M, my favorite letter. And this M doesn't stand for Librarian Megan. It stands for math. So knowing our numbers, addition, and subtraction. So we are going to sing a song that's going to help us remember all those letters. So let's see. But first, we got to wake up our clapping hands. So can you shake them out in front like this? How about up high like this? Ooh, how about down low? Ooh, you can't even see them. They're so low. All right. How about to the sides? All right. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Those are some good clapping hands. All right. So we are going to clap one time for each of my letters. We're going to go S, T, E, A, M. And then we're going to do that 3 times. And then we're going to do a big stretch. Ooh, big stretch. And make a circle with our arms. And we're going to sing, let's go explore our world. All right. So Miss Megan's going to start. And then when I clap, I want you to join in, okay? So our song goes like this. With science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, S-T-E-A-M, 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 let's go explore our world. Very good, friends. Thank you so much. And we are definitely going to be exploring our world today. So we are talking about a big problem. We're talking about a big problem that has a big solution. So we're talking about trash. Now, trash is a big problem in our world, but there are 4 things that we can do that help us reduce our trash. So those 4 things are called the 4 R's. So they stand for review, reduce, reuse, and recycle. So we are going to start with our book, and this book actually has one of the 4 R's in its title. So we are reading this book with permissions from Penguin Random House, and we'd like to thank them. So thank you, Penguin Random House. Can you say thank you? Thank you. Awesome. So our book is called We Are Extremely Very Good Recyclers by Lauren Child. All right. I have this little sister Lola. She is small and very funny. Lola loves keeping things, all kinds of things. Boxes, old broken toys, just things. Do you like keeping things? Sometimes Miss Megan can have a problem keeping old things because she thinks they're sentimental. Ask your parents what that means. All right. Not anymore, says Lola. I say, has it got anything to do with when we went to Marv's house? And Lola says, maybe. Yesterday, Marv says, I dare anyone to go into my big brother Marty's room. He doesn't let anyone touch any of his things, and he won't throw anything away. Mom says his room looks like a complete pigsty. What do you think that means? Do you think that means there's mud in his room? I don't know. Let's find out. I say, it can't be that bad. When we sneak into Marty's bedroom, Lola says, ooh, it's stinky. But then we hear, get out of my room now! And Marv shouts, run! So you see, Charlie, I do not never want my room to look like Marty's. So I am throwing everything away because I do not need it. Why don't you recycle it? And Lola says, bicycle it? No, recycle it. Recycle it. What is that? Well, it's a way that people can reuse old things in a different and newish way. Why? Says Lola. Because if we threw everything away, then we will all be completely buried under a massive, huge pile of trash or garbage. Ooh, that doesn't look like fun. I wouldn't want to live under all that garbage. And if we don't use things again, in the end, we will just run out of everything. So recycling is a good idea. Did you know there are places where they make new paper out of old paper? The old paper gets smooshed up with water and things, and then they press it all flat. You know, you can actually do this at home. You can make new paper out of old paper. They make all sorts of new types of paper, like writing paper and toilet paper and wrapping paper and coloring in paper and egg cartons. That's clever, says Lola. Later, Lola says, look, Charlie, Mom bought me this special comic book. It's called Look After Your Planet, and there's lots about recycling in it. Ooh, I wonder if the other R's are in that book. What do you think? I bet they are. And I say, oh, a contest. You can win a tree of your own to plant. What do we have to do? Says Lola. We have to collect 100 of each thing. 100 tin cans, 100 plastic things, and 100 things made out of paper. That's a lot of things, says Lola. Whew. So we have 100, 200, 300 things. Do you think you could collect 300 things? I don't know. That seems like a lot. Let's see if they can. Look, said Lola, your very own tree counter. Every time you collect something to recycle, you stick a leaf on a branch. When your tree counter is completely filled up, you can get your very own real tree to plant. Ooh, what kind of tree would you like to plant? I think I would like to plant an apple tree because then I'd get apples too, and I love apples. Lola says, I would love to plant a tree. Well, you'd better start recycling. And Lola says, okay, Charlie. This box is for all the plastic things, and this one is for tin cans, and this one is for paper. And I have already recycled 2 plastic things, 2 baked bean cans, and some paper. So that's how many? So 2 plus 2 is 4. And then some paper, I don't know. I don't know what number that would be. So let's just say 5. She's recycled 5 things so far. I say, I'm not sure you'll be able to collect 100 of each thing in 2 weeks, Lola, all on your own. What's Charlie got? It's got a strawberry on it. Seems like, ooh, I think it's a yogurt container. And Lola says, of course we can, Charlie. Have you finished? Good. So she just takes his yogurt container. Later, Lola says, see, Charlie, I can recycle these toilet paper rolls. And I say, the idea is to use the paper really slowly and not waste it. So we don't have to cut down a lot of trees. Then you recycle the rolls. Look what she did. She pulled off all the toilet paper just so she could have the rolls to recycle. I don't think that's good recycling. Well, we need some more leaves on our tree counter. So maybe we need to ask even more people. So it sounds like Charlie was right that they needed more people. The next day at school, Lola says, we have to save the trees and stop us being covered in a large pile of garbage. If we fill up this tree with leaves, we will win our very own real tree for the school. Everyone is excited and says, I want to do recycling. Pass it on. I want to do recycling. Pass it on. I want to do recycling. Pass it on. Okay, you pass it on too. So everyone at school starts recycling. Look how many I've got. Ooh, that's a big box of things. I've got lots too. You are very good recyclers, Lotta. Oh, Morton, you're not helping? So Morton goes home. Where did we see this door before? I think it's his brother's room, the one nobody's supposed to go in. And he finds more things to recycle. When everything is recycled, Lola says, oh no, we have not filled up the whole tree. We will not be getting our own real tree. But then Morton comes along. Lotta says, look at what he's got. Let's see. Ooh, he's got a lot of stuff. He's got a lot of yogurt containers. He's got 3 and 2 soda bottles and a toilet paper roll. And soon we have filled up the tree counter. Thank you, Morton, says Lola. We are very good. You are a very good recycler. Then Marv whispers to Morton, where'd you get all that stuff? And Morton says, Marty's room. Marv says, you're going to be in such big trouble. I wonder what'll happen. The next day, we all go outside to plant the tree. Look, our very own real tree, says Lola. We are extremely, very good recyclers, aren't we? I think so. Later, when we're all over at Marv's house, we suddenly hear, who's been in my room? Let's get out of here, says Marv. And Morton says, quick, run for it. All right. So that was our book. And I think they did a pretty good job of recycling. So let's talk more about what our 4 R's are. Because we talked about recycling in this one, but we didn't talk about the other 3. So the first one is review. So review means you kind of act like a detective and you go through, and you keep track of what you are throwing away each week. So after you do your detective work and you review what you've thrown away, you can think of ways that you can reduce what you're throwing away. So one great way to do that is with things like table scraps and vegetable peels and banana peels and orange peels and all kinds of peels, is that you can compost them. So instead of them going to a landfill, they can go and return to being soil and dirt. And then you can use them in gardens, or you could use it on a farm. I actually send my compost to be used on a farm. So another thing, so that's review and reduce. Now we can also reuse. So maybe say you have like a shirt that you have outgrown and it's still in good shape, so you can always donate it and then somebody else can use it. Or I'm going to show you something that we can do with an old t-shirt. So old things that you can reuse in different ways. And then our last one is, of course, recycling. And so recycling, that means we can recycle glass and cans. So we didn't talk about glass in there. We said plastic, cans, and paper, but we can also recycle glass. And so plastic things can be a little tough. So you need to always talk with your parents so that they know the rules of what you can recycle where you are. So we are going to sing a song that is going to help us learn those 4 R's. Okay, let's try it. And you might recognize this tune. So it goes like this. The family in the house reviews their trash, reviews their trash, reviews their trash. The family in the house reviews their trash all week long. Now, what did we say we do after we review our trash? We reduce it. So when we reduce our trash, we compost our scraps, compost our scraps, compost our scraps. When we reduce, we compost our scraps all week long. Okay, so we have review, reduce. What's next? Reuse. So another great thing you can reuse is you can get like a reusable water bottle, or maybe even just like one of the water bottles that you got from like the store. You can just fill it up with water from your tap. So we're going to say the kids in the park reuse their bottles, reuse their bottles, reuse their bottles. The kids in the park reuse their bottles all week long. Now, does anybody know who comes and gets our recycling? The recycling person, exactly. They're, usually your trash and your recycling are right together. So it's actually a truck that looks just like a garbage truck, except usually, well, here in Chicago, they're blue. So we're going to say, the recycling man says, sort your trash, sort your trash, sort your trash. The recycling man says, sort your trash all week long. All right, so that's our 4 R's: review, reduce, reuse, and recycle. All right, and so I have another song for you that goes over 3 of those. So when I was a kid, there were only 3 R's. So ask your parents about that. They probably also only learned 3, but you get an extra one. So this song goes like this. Reduce, reuse, recycle, 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 reduce, reuse, recycle. It's easy to do, 'cause your world is my world and my world is your world. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It's easy to do. So let's try that together, okay? So we're going to sing reduce, reuse, recycle. And we're just going to sing recycle a couple times. And then we're going to say it's easy to do, because it is. As long as you know the rules, that is. And then we're going to remind ourselves that we do this because we do it for each other, right? Okay, so it's going to go reduce, reuse, recycle, 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 reduce, reuse, recycle. It's easy to do. For your world is my world and my world is your world. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It's easy to do. Good job, friends. Yay! So we are going to do an activity, okay? So you can do this at home. And we are going to practice our reusing by reusing an old t-shirt. So my t-shirt, very appropriate for a member of the STEAM team. It's using something we call the periodic table of elements. So those are all the things that make up our world, and it's spelling something out. It's very sciencey. All right, so I'm going to show you how to turn this t-shirt into a bag that you can use. All right. So there we go. There's my t-shirt. All right. So we're going to first start by just cutting off the sleeves. So there's this little line you'll notice on your shirt, kind of where your armpit would be, and it's called a seam. And we're just going to cut down that seam. Okay. So friends, when you do this at home, I want you to double, triple, quadruple check with your grown-ups that it's okay to use an old, keyword there, old t-shirt like this, okay? Maybe ask them for one of their t-shirts that they're not using anymore, even better. Typically, if you're going to ask a grown-up if you can use their t-shirt, that bag is going to be bigger than if you're using a kid's t-shirt. But it's all about what you want to use it for. All right, so let's see. So we kind of turned it into a tank top, all right? So these are going to be our handles, so right here. But this neck hole isn't very big for an opening for the top of our bag. So we're going to cut it a bit bigger. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut a U shape. So since I have a design on mine, I don't want to cut too far down, but we're going to make like a U shape like that. So for this, all you need is a marker, some scissors, and a t-shirt. It's pretty easy to do. There we go. So that'll be our opening right there. These will be our handles. All right. So next part, we're going to go to the bottom. And we're going to cut. We're going to make kind of a fringe with our bottom. So we're just going to cut little lines like this. Not that long, so maybe just about 2 inches long and then less than an inch wide. So this is a great time to get your rulers out and practice your measuring skills. But I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. And I'm actually going to flip it over because it's easier for me to cut this way. And you're just going to do this down the whole bottom. And they don't have to be perfect, so don't worry. right, so I'm going to turn my t-shirt inside out now. All right, there we go. Probably would have been easier if I turned my t-shirt inside out before I made the fringe, but you know what? It's okay this way too. All right, so now we're going to take our little fringe pieces and we're going to knot them together, just like this. So we're going to go one, and then it's easier if when you do this. Sorry, let me show you. We're going to take the pieces and we're going to knot them together again, and we're going to kind of keep them separated like this. So keep one on one side and the other on the other side. Okay. And just go down the entire t-shirt, making little knots. All right. So friends, what else could we use our t-shirts for? So like I said, we could donate them. That's a good thing to do. Or, you know what? My mom likes to make quilts with old t-shirts. So she'll take the front with the cool design and she'll just cut it into a square, and then she'll piece it together and make a nice quilt that you can put on your bed, or you could wrap around yourself when you watch movies on the couch or something like that. Because it's made out of t-shirts, it's really, really cozy and soft. So, in fact, before I started making bags with my t-shirts, that's what I was going to do with them. So, and especially when you do something like that, you can always use the scraps that you aren't using. You can always use those, like the back of the t-shirt, you could always use those to make, rags, or you could use them, you could kind of weave them together and make pot holders with them. So many useful things you can do with things that we don't just throw them away. And that way you're doing something helpful for maybe your parents, or you're also helping your planet. So that's really good. That's actually what I'm going to do with these sleeves that I cut off. I'm going to actually just turn them into rags so that I can use them to clean my house instead of using paper towels or something like that. And then I can just wash them so I don't have to throw them away. All right, I'm almost there. This is the part that takes the longest. We just keep making knots. All right. Okay, so now you're going to go back the other way and you're going to crisscross. That's why it's helpful, and I didn't do a very good job of it, if you flip your pieces on either side, which is kind of hard. So just making lots and lots of knots. All right. Okay. And you know what? It doesn't really matter too terribly much if they're not super duper precise, because the thing is the more knots you make, the better it's going to be for the bottom of the bag. So you can just keep making knots as long as you like. So let's see. Because that'll just make it a tighter seam. So one thing I was thinking about doing since I said you could just use the design side of you could always try doing this to make other household items. So you could always do this to make, I've seen people make blankets this way. And you could also, I was actually thinking of trying to make some pillows like this, because I could just take 2 square pieces and I could just knot all 4 sides like this, and then turn them, and then I could put, either some stuffing in them, or I could put what we call a pillow form in it, which is just basically like a pillow. There we go. Oh, look at all those knots. All right, so I'm going to turn my bag inside out. And I'm going to push this up so you can see it. Nice. So now it's a nice tote bag. I could put some, what could I put it? Where would be a great place to use this? If you go to the library, you could put your library books in it. Or you could maybe put your lunch in it, or a drink, or maybe if you want, you could give this to your parents and they could use it when they do their grocery shopping. So those are all good things you can do with it. And you know what? If you want to just keep making knots, it's just going to make the bottom of it even more secure. So great job, friends. Awesome. So we're at the end of our story time, and I have one quick question for you. Who here wants to be an awesome reader? Show me those hands. Great. Well, there are 5 things it takes to be an awesome reader, but I bet you do them all the time. So let's see. You need to talk. So did we talk about the 4 R's today? Yeah, we totally did. And then we need to sing. And we definitely sang, because we sang the STEAM song, we sang the 4R song, and we sang, reduce, reuse, recycle. So we did a lot of singing, and we're even going to do some more. So next we need to read, and we read our book. We read We Are Extremely Very Good Recyclers. And then we need to talk, sing, read, write. So we practiced our letters. That's practicing our writing, and we need to play. So we did an art project. So wait, that's 5. How many things does it take to be an awesome reader? 5. Oh my golly, friends, you did all of them. Great job. So we are going to sing our last song, and we have to clap. So let's hear those clapping hands. All right, let's do it. Talk, sing, read, write, play. Talk, sing, read, write, play. Talk, sing, read, write, play. Makes a reader every day. Excellent job, friends. And I hope that you will be excellent readers today, tomorrow, and moving on into the future. So thank you so much for joining me for Live from the Library. Come back every Tuesday at 10 a.m. and we will have a whole new program for you. Thanks so much, and we'll see you then. Bye.